Hello, we are 4G from Institute Teknologi Bandung. In this occasion, we would like to present our industrial case analysis entitled Biodimethyl Ether from Rice Straw as a Renewable Substitute for Liquefied Petroleum Gas. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Evita.
I'm Agis.
I'm Nabila. I'm Bella.
I'm Diana.
And this is our presentation outline.
Pertamina is the largest state-owned company in Indonesia in terms of revenue and profit. Pertamina is active in the upstream and downstream sector for the oil and gas industry. In the marketing sector, Pertamina's products are fuel oil, lubricant, LPG, petrochemical products, and other non-fuel products for the domestic and foreign markets. Currently, Pertamina's fuel main customers are PT PLN Persero, TNI Polri, mining industry, water transportation in the marine sector, and other industries. Indonesia is on way to turning to clean and green energy through massive low carbon development in response to the global threat of climate change. Pertamina is responding to this energy transition era by carrying out a business transformation. Pertamina remains committed to increasing the renewable energy portion to the national renewable energy target of 23%. The gas and renewable energy sector is increasingly important because business sector to Pertamina, considering its role as primary energy source in future to replace the role of oil and coal energy source.
Indonesia LPG production will be stagnant for the next 4 years. With this unbalance between demand and production, LPG import is unfavorable and will also increase every year. The stagnant production of LPG is caused by the limited availability of the raw material, which is natural gas. In order to overcome this challenge, it is necessary to have an alternative to replace LPG. In addition, there are several reasons why renewable energy needs to be applied. The first is climate change. Part of the carbon dioxide that causes climate change is produced from fossil energy. With renewable energy, carbon dioxide will be reduced. And the second is energy security. In order to become an independent country, most countries reduce their dependence of imported fuel. And the third is energy affordability. And the fourth is social and consumer acceptance. Then there are three barriers to renewable energy growth in Indonesia. The first is technology constraint, the second is unfavorable policies and regulatory uncertainties, and the third is availability of private financing.
COVID-19 makes cooking activities at home increase, and it makes LPG consumption in Indonesia also increase, and it will continue to increase in every year. And 77.63% of LPG's demand are still import. And because LPG is still using fossil sources, it can increase in the greenhouse gas emission effect too.
We can conclude that we have to substitute LPG for the household usage. One of many ways it can be substituted is by using dimethyl ether or DME. DME has similar properties as LPG, thus can be a substitute for LPG usage. DME production in Indonesia has just started to develop. This of course having many advantages such as increasing national energy security and many more. But notice that there are non-environmental and sustainability related advantages. It's because this DME is still synthesized from coal. Coal comes from fossils, and when it is gasified, it will produce greenhouse gases, and if it gets released into the atmosphere, can cause an increase in global average temperature, which eventually leads to climate change. This occurs because the addition of greenhouse gases emissions to the atmosphere is not offset by their removal from the atmosphere for over a certain period. This creates an accumulation in the atmosphere, which makes the sun's heat trapped inside, thus warming the earth.
So how? And the answer is bio-DME, DME from biomass. The use of bio-DME is a form of our support for government regulation in increasing the use of biofuels. In addition, bio-DME expected can reduce greenhouse gas emission and not destroy our ozone. So with bio-DME, we will save our earth. Then what biomass will be used? And the answer is rice straw. And then why rice straw? First, because rice straw is waste from rice milling process. So by using rice straw into bio-DME will increase the added value of the rice straw from waste to gas. Second, Rice is Indonesian staple food. And third, 1 hectare rice field can produce around 5 to 8 tons rice straw. In 2016, Indonesia was the third largest rice producing country in the world, with an average harvest area of 15.04 million hectares. This number is expected to continue to increase in line with the growth of Indonesian population. This serves a good impact on the availability of rice straw as a raw material for making bio-DME.
Work method for making bio-DME in way, rice straw is fed into the gasification process which will produce the product in the form of syngas. The syngas from the gasification result will still contain impurity which will make the catalyst reactive. Because of that, the syngas from the gasification result will go into the syngas cleaning and cooling to separate the impurity gas and pure syngas. Then the pure syngas will be compressed into a pressure of 5 MPa so that it can be continued with the DME synthesis process. With then, the result of the DME synthesis process will be continued into the separator to produce the final product is DME. The DME from the separator will be mixed with LPG to process bio-DME.
From environment aspect, there are 2 points. First, gasification of rice straw produces waste in the form of tar and charcoal. This waste can be oxidized and generate heat that can be used for the drying process. Second, bio-DME used as LPG supplement for household applications could reduce greenhouse gases emissions around 1 to 49 gram CO2 equivalent per megajoule or around 2 to 66%. Several advantages that can be obtained if the solution is applied, such as increasing farmers' income, lowering LPG imports, employing the community, and can be used on existing stove.
Next is DME plant location. In building a plant, it is also important to consider the land availability and also the utilities need. Taking this factor, the location chosen to build the DME plant is MT Haryono Street, Lomanis, Cilacap, Central Java. This location is very potential to build a DME plant because of the Central Java is the area with the highest level of rice production in Indonesia. Based on data from the Indonesian Ministry of Agriculture, Central Java succeeded in producing around 9 billion ton dry and hulled rice. The DME will be distributed to the nearest Pertamina refinery unit that produce LPG. This plant location is close to Pertamina refinery unit 4 Cilacap, that is the largest oil processing unit or control 33.2% of Pertamina's refinery production.
Next, we will discuss financial analysis, and these are the steps. This is the ratio of the financial needs. Then the selling price is determined in advance to determine sales. It can be seen in the price simulation that the selling price 140 rupiahs produced the largest revenue, namely around 32 million rupiahs. From the cash flow, net present value 13 billion rupiah and internal rate of return is 10.17% and payback period is 6.21 years. Therefore, the DME gas from rice straw as a raw material is feasible for use. These are the conclusion. The first is bio-DME is a good substitute for LPG usage, and the second, rice straw as a raw material is very potential, and from financial analysis side is feasible for use.
For this study, we can suggest that government support in the form of regulation to be able to commercialize bio-DME as a substitute for LPG is important. We should spread environmental awareness because burning fossil fuel emit a number of air pollutants that are harmful to the environment. But biomass helps reduce the amount of greenhouse gas. And no matter how good this bio-DME, it will be not successful if there is no collaboration between various parties that are government, society, and business owners.
As James Cameron said, the nation that leads in renewable energy will be the nation that leads the world. That is all from us. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Bye!